Hey guys, this is John with my wife Jeannie. We're from Life of Pretty. Just really appreciate you guys checking it out. Stick around for a while. If you haven't done so previously, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, share this with everyone you can. Just so you know, Life of Pretty is not about just the beautiful glamour that you see on me right now. It's actually about altruism and self-care, self-love. Really just, the focus here is not so much coming from the outside, your supermodels and all these women that the media tells us look beautiful, and the guys from GQ and all that. It's about bringing out the inner beauty and letting that radiate outwards. And it really can be something that when you see it in someone, that just makes you want to talk to them, makes you want to be around them. It's just absolutely fascinating sometimes. Right, Jeannie?
Absolutely.
So, we went to the beach yesterday, Cape Henlopen, which if you've never heard about it, it's actually a state park in Delaware near Lewes Beach.
Gorgeous.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a pretty decent amount of people that show up there, but it's not quite as congested as Rehoboth or some of the other beaches. It just tends to be, for us, just a little bit nicer, a little bit quieter beach to go to. So if you're going out there for surfboarding, probably not the right beach for that. Just not a lot of waves kicking out there, but there's a few minor ones, as you found out trying to pick up a seashell yesterday, right? So what happened? I know I was facing
Been
the
over
other
to
way.
get the seashell, and the wave went over my head.
Yeah, so
Out of nowhere.
great comedy involved in this as well. Now, one of the things that I happen to do, I haven't been feeling that great the last couple of weeks, so most of what I was doing was really just kind of trying to take it easy. We took a few strolls down to the water and a few strolls up and down to pick up some, turned out to be mostly rocks. There weren't that many shells that we saw out there, but so we're out there doing these things, and as I sat down with our son, who was there with us too, and I was looking around, I noticed some trends that I found kind of interesting. So one of the things I noticed is the people who were especially anywhere between 15, 16, all the way up through probably early 30s, that had the quote-unquote beach bodies, were out there in bikinis, guys in shorts. I guess the bikini would have looked a little bit odd there. No shirts on for them. Even the lifeguards, obviously, they were wearing the bikinis, the girls were at least, and the guys just the shorts. So, and I sat there looking at myself, and I'm sitting there with a t-shirt on and a pair of shorts. And the reason is I am a little self-conscious about the way that I look. So I chose not to take the t-shirt off for a good chunk of while we were there, and it's a self-conscious thing. But as I looked around, I noticed that there were people out there of all sizes, guys with massive beer bellies, girls who were fairly large, and some of them would wear t-shirts and stuff, similar to me with self-consciousness. Some people didn't care. So there were some people out there with some massive bellies and some
Plus-size women wearing bikinis.
yeah, and they didn't care. And
That's awesome.
yes, and it got me thinking, what's the reason that some of us are so self-conscious about how we look in the face of others? So, I mean, psychologically, I know you're the one with a degree in that. Do you know what the driver might be for why we feel so self-conscious of it? Is it more of a media thing?
I think it's what people expect isn't what you are. A lot of times people expect, or you're told from a young age, that you're supposed to be this skinny little person, even when your build isn't meant to be this skinny little model-shaped person. And you grow up thinking this is what you need to achieve to be happy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, my opinion is, and from the research that I've done, is physically looking good on the outside is not the final straw to being happy. Don't get me wrong, I know that if I were skinnier, I might feel a little bit better about myself, but it's only one little piece of the happiness puzzle. There's so much for it. And frankly, the work that's involved sometimes, depending on your metabolism, can be a little tough to even achieve that anyway. My wife and I were joking earlier today walking through the grocery store. I commented maybe they should just sell the smells that you get from some of the foods that we're really not going to eat because they don't contribute well to our body type. Yeah, I actually think that I gained a couple pounds just from sniffing the chocolate chip cookie section walking through. And maybe if they just sold the smells, that way if you didn't want to eat it but just wanted that smell, you could buy that for $1. Cookies and extra add-ons like that are an additional 50 cents. So if I can ever manage to market that, I'm definitely going to do it. But it's funny, I did an experiment yesterday while we were at the beach, and mainly just because I wanted to. I actually took my shirt off for, 20-30 minutes? And just sat there. I didn't quite have the, what's to walk down in front of everybody down into the water with no shirt on, but I did stay on the beach blanket that we had. And I sat there with no shirt on. I really didn't see anyone gawking at me. Loving all this.
I wore a tank top. I never wear tank tops on the beach.
Yeah, and Jeannie has a great suntan line of the tank top on her back now from doing that, and she's traditionally worn more of a t-shirt too. But then, we saw a couple people down there just walking by, didn't care, talking to friends, walking by, just wearing a bikini or just shorts or whatever, and it really didn't seem to faze them. And my first thought was, God, I really wish I could do that. And so I know that one of the things that impacts us is self-image. And yes, part of the self-image is physical, because every day that you pull up anything from Facebook to Pinterest, what is marketing coming to you with? Hey, join this program. You can get the best calves of your life. Use this one to increase your bust size. I really don't need that right now. Make your booty bigger. Earlier, before the booty phase, it was make your booty smaller. Whatever it is that is marketing right now being sold is something that they're going to try to push onto you. And I love it. Just makes me really happy, and it's kind of working with me as I've done this now, trying to say, forget what people's opinion is. I'm me, plain and simple, whether I am overweight, underweight. I want to get healthy, and I want to do that for my physical health and maybe some of my mental health as well, but not just because someone else has that opinion of it. So
well, that's what's expected. Because
yeah, and my question would be, who's expecting that? I think it's more of a marketing thing. Everywhere you turn, let's say I want to.
The norm.
I think it is made to be sound like that is the norm, is to be.
Because of the marketing and the media.
And it's funny, if you go on to Google and you look up, I want to lose some weight, and I find a program out there and I kind of research it, I'm like, I don't really want to do this. Well, they're planting a little cookie in your computer. And for the next several weeks, every time you go onto a website that uses Google Ads or one of those, you're going to get marketed to by that same company, because they know the 13th or 14th try, even if it's not something you're particularly interested in, they can start to sway your opinion when you've seen it that many times. So they do remarketing. They try to get this image in front of you as much as you can, as much as they can, until you subscribe to whatever it is they're trying to sell. And the funny thing is, it's not going to fix it. And here's part of the reason. Let's say you do it. When is skinny enough? I know if I lost 50 pounds, I'd be happy, but I still want to lose that extra, 10, 20 pounds, whatever it is. And let's say I achieve that. Am I happy? Theoretically, yes. In reality, I'll look up something else I want to change, and then I'm being marketed to for that. And it gets ridiculous. We all fall prey to it at some point. We get things because of that's what the marketing companies want us to do. And don't ever underestimate their power. It's actually really fascinating how much money these people spend to give you a psychological impetus to do something. So one of the neat things I was telling you the other day, as I know with Disney World does massive studies in psychology. They know that people want to look at events and things. And I may have mentioned this on the last video. If I did, it may be a little bit redundant. But one of the things they found is we base our overall experience on a certain portion of what we see. And then, the psychological marketing shows them just to make the ending huge and big. And then that way, even if something didn't go great during your trip there, you'll still come out of it with a positive image. And I say that not so much in relation to this, except to say, don't think these companies haven't done massive research on the psychology of how to tell you to define yourself. And if there's one piece of advice I could give you, if you want to find happiness, if you want to find joy in your life, if you want to experience the life of pretty, the simple thing is this: you're beautiful the way that you are. Find an affirmation. I choose to be happy. I am the best me I can be. Whatever your affirmation is, stick with it. Make it an ingrained part of your ritual. Say it to yourself several times a day. You don't have to yell it out loud in the middle of church. It might be a little awkward. But tell yourself that. Write on a piece of paper. Keep it with you.
Reinforce it as much as possible.
just because those are the things that are going to change your thought process, your brain patterns, to be able to understand that, hey, I really am awesome. These things that are being marketed to me, they're tempting, but they really don't change how beautiful I am as a person and how well I see myself. So, did you want to add anything before I close this out? All right. So,
Find ways to stay positive about yourself.
that is the main thing right there. Just stay positive. You are not alone. Whether I go out and I'm self-conscious about wearing a shirt or not, I could have taken my shirt off, and honestly, I don't think anyone would have really cared. And frankly, we're 3 hours from home. I don't think anyone I know was even there. But I know the pressures of being psychologically pushed to feel like you really need, to fit a certain mold. And the reality is, I didn't. And I let it get to me, and I did make that point to try to do it a little bit. I encourage you to do the same. Maybe push some boundaries. Test it out. I'm not saying go out and run down the street right now in a bikini, but maybe do something that you've been holding back on because of fear of what someone else might say, and just go out and be yourself, and you will actually find that people don't look at you as much as you think they do. But you're a beautiful person as it is. I don't have to know you to know that. I know that all of us are beautiful people. We may not all have our own beautiful moments all the time, but that's just called being a human. We make mistakes and we learn from them. It's just part of the game. Keep following us. We're going to keep putting out some videos. Hopefully you guys are finding great use out of them. I truly appreciate you taking the time. And again, don't forget, and you'll see the little thing right after this in just a second, but please like and subscribe. So thank you guys for watching.
Have a great week.
Yep, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.